getting in, it's the getting out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside of Destiny the Taken King. Nick here today from Degenerate Gaming with another weapon review, and today we are going to be looking at the Vanguard Pulse Rifle. It's called the Apple of Discord. Couple of ways you can get this. You actually can get this from the Taken King story mission after you complete Regicide. Um, you can get this, and we'll take a look at this one and the one from the vendor. And obviously, also you can get this from um, Vanguard packages. I bought mine from the vendor. We'll go over that here in a bit. But this is the 200 attack one that you get from the quest line. It has the SC hollow sights with improved target acquisition, LC range, which is a marksman scope, which boosts your range a little bit. It has head seeker. It also has feeding frenzy. Um, Head Seeker's body shots with this weapon increase precision damage for a short time. It has Feeding Frenzy, kills with this weapon increase the reload speed for a short time. And then it has Snapshot. You can aim the weapon very fast. Fitted Stock, which is an increase to stability. And then it has Reinforced Barrel for increased range and less stability. Now, the only time I'm ever gonna use this, like I use this a little bit when I, first got it, and realistically, that's as far as I went with it. I don't really think this is worth infusing, only because you can get a better one from the vendor. But if I had to choose perks for this, I'm going Head Seeker, Feeding Frenzy, obviously, and then Fitted Stock, and I would probably use the ranged scope. Um, but we'll take a look at the vendor one. That is the one I have. Um, and first, I want to show you, um, just what kind of pulse rifle this is. We're going to go over here to the legendary or the exotic blueprints, and we're going to compare this with Red Death. And as you can see, it is that same style of pulse rifle. Um, Red Death actually has just a sliver more impact. Um, it looks like. Um, but other than that, is that same profile, and you can see that the range and the stability um, are severely increased. The only thing that Red Death really has is reload speed, and again, that is the base Red Death. I don't really know what perks Red Death has on it, as I don't have a year one version of that. But regardless, we're going to talk about the Apple of Discord, and again, I bought this from the vendor for 150 legendary marks, and the one in the vendor is much better than the one you can buy from, or the one that you get from the quest. Plus, it's 280 attack, which means a lot less infusing you have to do to kind of get that attack. And as you can see, I really haven't infused it yet, but I definitely would recommend doing so, and would definitely recommend trying this weapon to see if you like it. The differences here, um, this has GB Iron, which is an iron sight. Which, as you can see, I really don't like this sight. It's definitely kind of clunky. It seems like it's in the way. Um, and so does the LC range, which is the marksman scope. Um, it does give you that boost range, so that's why I use it. Um, both of them kind of feel like they're just big and gaudy and in the way. I particularly don't like either of these, but I would go with the range one because it gives you that boost range, which you can't go wrong with. If both of them are going to be ugly, you might as well take the one that helps you. Um, this does have Head Seeker on it again, um, but this is where this weapon stands out from the vendor. It has full auto, which means instead of having to repeatedly hit the trigger button, you can just hold it down like an auto rifle and it will continue to fire its bursts. Um, it has snapshot again, um, and then it has fitted stock, which again will increase your stability ever so slightly. Um, and then it also has hand laid stock, which increases it by a severe margin. I mean, that's almost like a fifth to a quarter of it, um, which makes this thing very, very volatile in Crucible and in PvE gameplay. It's just a very good all-around pulse rifle. I'm more than happy to sacrifice that reload speed for the stability. and it's got a very big magazine. As it is a Hake pulse rifle, it fires an additional projectile, which means a 4-round burst. Um, so again, you can get 8 good shots out of this thing um, before you know you have to reload. And again, I mean, it's just a very good all-around PvP and PvE pulse rifle. I've been using this thing the last day or two, um, and it's an awesome weapon. I definitely recommend everyone going and picking it up and using it. And we'll talk a little bit more about it here in the clips. With that, we'll get to some gameplay. Okay, and we'll get into some PvE gameplay first, as we usually do. As you can see, this is the Regicide mission. Again, from the daily story today, with a couple of buddies of mine. And as you can see, this thing does some pretty good work on the Oryx. I mean, it's basically, it's pretty easy to control the recoil. You see me pop a 3 of coins just to see if I can't get something. I don't even know if it works on Oryx because of the way the fight ends. But I figured I'd try it out. I got him to burn. And again, this thing, I mean, against regular ads, you can see it's like a friggin' laser beam, at his head. It just constantly landing bullets, especially on these bigger targets like these ultras. Real easy, and doing 1,100 damage on ads. Again, these are level 41 enemies from the daily. So, this thing performed pretty well, ripping these up, especially getting headshots. Again, it's got head seeker, so as long as you are fairly accurate in with your aim, you are going to have success with this weapon. And there's times, I mean, firing it way down range is just very nice weapon to use with the stability up as high as it is. It's pretty damn good for pulse rifles, and I'm not particularly a pulse rifle guy, especially in PvE. I typically will go with an auto rifle or a scout rifle over a pulse rifle, and that's just my particular preference. But I had a lot of fun using this weapon, actually. Very easy to use, handles very nicely. I am using the the iron sights. This is kind of when I was still kind of going through it and testing it. I gave it a shot here in PvP and PvE. And again, I'd rather have that boost to range again, because you'll see they seem kind of clunky. They're in the way, and the scope is the same thing. I don't have any footage of actually me using the scope for you guys to see that, but again, don't poo-poo it just because of the scope. This is a very, very solid weapon. You can see it's got 4-round bursts as usual. And especially, I mean, the range is still pretty good on it, even without the LC scope. Again, massive amounts of damage to these ads. Even the ultras, just I mean, basically it's one hell of a pulse rifle. I never had a Red Death, so I don't really know much about it or the perks that come with it. But I have seen quite a bit of this weapon anyway, I should say. And again, I've got buddies who use this thing, in the Crucible and in PvP. Actually, one of my buddies here who's in this mission with me, he had it, and we were talking about it compared to the Hawksaw. He said that actually he would rather have the Apple of Discord in PvE only over the Hawksaw, only for the impact really is just too soft. And I would agree with that. I don't have a Hawksaw yet. Obviously, when I do, I will get that review out to you. But you can see, I mean, this thing does. I did actually pretty well in the Crucible in the matches I played with it. The Head Seeker perk is awesome, and again, I still am using the iron sights, but everything handles and feels really nice with this weapon.
You're in the lead.
And again, using this in the Crucible, it felt really good. I actually performed pretty well anytime I use this. And again, that 4-round burst will kill in 2 bursts to the head and 3 to the body, providing that all your shots hit. And with Head Seeker, you know, it's just going to help you. It'll help you out a lot more. As you can see, I kind of poached one from somebody there. And again, just aiming for the face, mowing them down. This is definitely a pulse rifle that I would recommend to everybody. I mean, for 150 legendary marks, you can't go wrong with this thing. And here in this clip, you can see how far away I am. You guys have all played that map. You know how long that is to get a kill with a pulse rifle. That's pretty good range on this thing. And that's without the LC scope, the improved optics and range. Again, this is a very good all-around pulse rifle. Again, I haven't used the Hawksaw. I've heard a lot about that too as well, as that being a PvP monster in the Crucible. But we'll see. I know this thing is really good. I enjoyed using this weapon, and I probably will continue to use this weapon. It is that damn good. How did I miss him?
Nearly lost. Heavy ammo inbound.
This is one of those weapons that I could definitely see myself using in Iron Banner, or even in Trials, as I'm not real big on hand cannons. Again, you can, with the range and everything of this weapon, you can work from a long way off. Whereas in hand cannons, all the range has been kind of nerfed, with the exception of Hawkmoon. And a lot of the auto rifles, you have to be within a particular range. Scout rifles, again, are good, but a lot of them have that slower fire rate. This thing with this burst fire is awesome. Again, I'm not high on too many pulse rifles, but this is definitely one that I would recommend. I mean, there's a clip here in a minute where you'll see me just throwing bullets in a room of enemies, and somehow I managed to come up with a couple of kills. Which, with scout rifles, auto rifles, I might not be able to do that, just because auto rifles generally have a lower impact than these pulse rifles. With a scout rifle, it typically is firing a little slower and requires a little more precision. With this, you can just basically chuck bullets in with Head Seeker when it procs, even if you hit that body a couple of times, before you hit that headshot to take him down. It's still things are still gonna work out well for you. You're still gonna secure that kill. Yes, this is that clip I was talking about. I'm basically just throwing bullets in there, and I get a double out of the deal even after I mow that guy down in the beginning. But anyways, yeah, remember guys, if you have recommendations, weapons you want me to try and see if I can get, I'll do my very best to do so. Again, I'm trying to get these out to you as quick as possible here while I have the time on my hands to do it. But again, I'm not going to bring these to you unless I have a good roll on these weapons. And something that I would recommend, as far as perks and that sort of thing, things that I like to use. But with that being said, hit that like button. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And, feedback is always welcome. So remember to leave a comment, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.